it's me, McKenna, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a book review on Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber. Now I know this came out like 2 years ago, but listen, I just read it, so you're gonna listen to it because I absolutely loved it. This is the first book, and I believe a trilogy, and this is the special Fairy Loot edition with the pink edges and all of that. So we, in this book, never make a deal with a fate. For as long as she can remember, Evelyn Jean Fox has believed in happily ever after. And so she learns that the love of her life is about to marry another, and her dreams are shattered. Desperate to stop the wedding and heal her wounded heart, Evelyn Jean strikes a deal with the charismatic but wicked Prince of Hearts. In exchange for his help, he asks for 3 kisses to be given at the time and place of his choosing. But after Evelyn Jean's first promised kiss, she learns bargaining with an immortal is a dangerous game, and that the Prince of Hearts wants far more from her than she pledged. He has great plans for Evelyn Jean, plans that will either end in the greatest happily ever after or the most exquisite tragedy. I absolutely ate this book up. This is my first book ever that I read by Stephanie Garber, and I love it. And I plan on reading the second book, The Ballad of Never After, next month in April. So Evelyn Jean is being raised by her stepmother. Her mother died when she was younger. Her mother was from the magical north, where they believe in the fates, where there's these types of magic, but the magic is so strong you can't talk about the north because it's supposed to stay up there as a mystery. Her father dies, so she's raised by her stepmother and her stepsister, and she's in love with like a local boy named Luke. For some reason, Luke starts ignoring her, and she's convinced her stepsister is a witch and has put a spell on him. So she strikes up a deal with the Prince of Hearts, Jack, to stop the wedding, and he ends up turning them all into stone. And she rushes over, she drinks the same punch so she can become a stone, and they all let her out. Those 6 weeks that she is turned to stone, the fates somehow are released. There's a battle, they were trapped in a deck of cards, and she is released by one of the fates' poison. Because of that, she is named the South's savior, and her empress wants to send her to the north to be presented as Prince Apollo's future bride. He can't become king unless he marries a person, so he throws this extravagant party that has to last up until he finds a wife, up until he declares who his wife is. So she goes, and she brings her stepsister Marisol with her because she is now deemed the cursed bride because she had to get married twice. The second time, because of the deal Evelyn Jean struck up with the Prince of Fate, her husband is attacked by bears, and now no one can find Luke. Evelyn Jean is still trying to convince herself her stepsister isn't a witch, that something just happened, maybe Luke wasn't in love with her. And when she gets there and she's in the ball and she's about to meet Prince Apollo, she sees Jax. He's one of his most trusted advisors, and she knows this was all set up by Jax. So the first kiss is for her to kiss Prince Apollo, and Prince Apollo falls in love with her. At first, she's very naive. She's like, no, it has nothing to do with Jax did to me. It is all me. He loves me for me. And Jax is like, no, he loves you for what I did. But when you kiss him on your wedding night is when everything will go apart. When she does try to kiss him, somehow he's poisoned and he is killed. Spoiler, he's not. At the end, we find out he's freaking alive and in a like magically induced coma. So Evelyn Jean and Jax are on the run. They run to one of the fates, who is what was she called? She is Lala. Her name is Lala. And she's basically the unwed bride that every time she like finds a partner and they're about to get married, they don't marry her. So they run to her. She was one of the people presented to Prince Apollo, and she basically helps him disguise himself. And there, Evelyn Jean finds out her sister is now supposed to marry Prince Apollo's youngest brother, and she's like, oh my god, like she is a witch. Like, you did this to me. You caused all of this to happen because you put a spell on my one true love. I loved the fates in this. Like, I wish we got more poison. We meet one who's the oldest fate, that he's supposedly a vampire. Like, he has to wear, what is it? Like, they drew him, and I fell in love. Like, that's him. That's the oldest one. He's supposed to be like a vampire. That's the unwed bride. I absolutely loved her. She was so iconic in this. It was so fast-paced too. So Evelyn Jean, nobody wants her to marry Prince Apollo because of an unspoken prophecy about the Veilers who created all things magical. That it says the wife has pink hair, which Evelyn Jean has. She will be the key to unlocking the Veiler thing, and the last chapter is that unlocking. I absolutely love this. I hated the stepmother with every fiber of my being. I gave this 5 out of 5 stars if I didn't say. My favorite characters entirely was Evelyn Jean and Jax, even though he's kind of a jackass. He was my favorite. My favorite fate was Lala the Unwed Bride, and I hated Marisol because she said she was always so jealous of Marisol because of Evelyn Jean, because she had this pink hair, she didn't have a care in her world. Like, her parents raised her not to care what everyone says, not to live to the lifestyle of being a lady in society. So she was always jealous of her and she wanted everything she got. That's why she put the spell on him, and that pissed me off. I hope she's not in the second book because I don't like her. But yeah, so she technically has one kiss left for Jax. The first one was used on Apollo. The second one was used on an old lady who is one of the higher satyrs, so they could get into her secret vault. So I really wonder what he uses the third kiss for. But I absolutely freaking love this. I loved how fast paced it was. I loved Evelyn Jean in this so much, how much fate she had. But yeah, this is my quick review of Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber, the first book. I don't even know what the trilogy is called. If I find out, I'm gonna leave it like somewhere on the screen. I'll be leaving here 2 videos you guys should go check out, and hopefully I'll see you guys very soon in another video. Bye.